this before on the show about celebrities that do anything, of course, to get some attention. You know, it doesn't matter what they have to do, they have to get themselves back into the limelight, particularly if they've been off kilter for quite some time. You know, the sort of person that was the darling of the box office, you know, on the front covers of all those magazines. You read about them on the digital platforms, in your newspaper, and then seemingly they disappear overnight. It's all about like the fun girls and the fun guys of the 1990s. Now when you pick them up, you think, wow, but of course we all move on with time, don't we? Now, this particular actress, I wanted to share a story with you because, of course, there's no two ways about it. She's a good actress and, of course, has had some wonderful roles. Very pretty lady, let me tell you, in the flesh, but far from, shall we say, agreeable. Let me explain. Neil Sean here in the beautiful heart of London today. Like these bit of red berries, I think they are. I'm not quite sure what they are actually. They're just a bit of colour. It's nice though, isn't it? You know, as I said before, in this role I'm lucky enough to have had, I've interviewed so many major Hollywood stars, and you do get a real sort of rich tapestry of what they're like the minute you walk in the room. You know, there's no two ways about it. Yes, they can be having an off day, but just put this into sort of, you know, the remit of what it really is. There you normally interview them in a 5-star deluxe luxury hotel like the Dorchester, Grosvenor House, Savoy. Everything is catered for, from their suite to what they like to eat, vegan, non-dairy, whatever. They are pandered to an inch of their life. You, whatever people say, are literally sat outside in a lineup, lucky to get a glass of water while you wait your turn to go into the executioner's den, as it were, to have 5 minutes, maybe 10 if you're lucky, to talk about the actor or actress, only about their movie. This is what happened with me and Anne Hathaway. Now, it didn't go particularly well. I can't even remember the movie that she was promoting, but she was sour, didn't want to chat, and said she was bored during the interview. So I rightly said, well, so am I actually. So we wrapped it up and she couldn't quite believe it. So it comes as no shock to me that this particular story features the forgotten Anne Hathaway, simply because, of course, at the time when I was interviewing her, she was hoping to land the role of playing Judy Garland on film. And I said, actually, you do have a look of her. And she said, yes, I know, and I also have the talent. Wow. Nothing like blowing your own trumpet, right? So guess what? Now, in order to remind us that she's still around, on a recent photo shoot for the glossy Condé Nast magazine Vanity Fair, she went out in support with these particular strikers for Condé Nast. Now you might say, well, that's very noble, very kind, very trustworthy. No, really, she managed to get some headlines to remind people, casting directors and people and such, that she's still relevant, in vogue, and more importantly, ready for work. I'm not being unkind, I'm just telling you exactly how the publicity machine works. I've met Anne since, and she's been mildly reasonable, shall we say, but in the industry she's known as being, shall we nicely point out, as something of a difficult interview. But now, at least she's got herself back in the media. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.